What's going on, guys? Gawdlikematt, and welcome back to the final part of our Let's Platinum. It's finally over! We're covering it right now. Everything I needed for all the last final trophies that I haven't gotten yet in my playthrough. It's happening right fucking now. So this video is going to be covering all the weapons that I didn't get yet, all the weapons that I didn't finish upgrading, the boss weapons, and a few other odds and ends stuff I missed. So we'll be covering all of it. Everything that's needed for the platinum that I haven't covered yet, it'll be in this video. So you don't need to worry about that. Now, the first thing we are going to be doing in this episode here, we're going to be going back to Sen's Fortress, as you can see, because we're coming back for a ring that I missed way on earlier in the game. And it's one of the better, more important rings in the game, so it's really bad that I missed it. And I also finally figured out, because I couldn't figure out back when I first did Sen's Fortress, that fucking item on that fucking ledge that I couldn't get, and I didn't know how to get it. It turns out it was the ring that I needed. So, we're gonna be, right now I'm just showing you me going through Sen's Fortress right now, because I figured I might as well show exactly how to get to the ring. If I'm going to show me getting it, might as well show like how to get it and where it is. The thing is with this ring, the boulders kind of give you the path. They break open the door, and they also stack down in that little pit just in front of the door, which allows you to just walk over them and get to the ring. So if the hole isn't filled, you kind of do have to wait until enough boulders fill up the hole, and then they'll break the wall, and then you can get the ring. So if you can't get by at first, just wait, and once there's enough boulders stacked up in the hole, you'll be able to get the ring. So it's no worries. And this pit leads nowhere, which is pretty funny. Alright, so now we're going to be covering, I don't fucking know, because I can't remember. I'm doing this audio not live, I'm recording it after the fact. Oh, now I remember. We're going to be buying some prism stones. And believe it or not, these are actually really important for the blue titanite slab that we ended up missing back when we did the Duke's Archives. And what I'm also going to be doing before I head on over is I'm going to be feeding Frampt all of my coins. These coins literally have no purpose in the game other than to feed to Frampt. And they give you a pretty decent amount of money too. So if you haven't done that yet, definitely recommend doing that. And another thing we haven't done in my entire Let's Platinum as of this far is we haven't traded any items with Snuggly the Crow. So that's what you're going to see me doing right now. You do have to come back to the asylum in order to do this. And also, when you drop an item in Snuggly's nest, unfortunately, you do have to quit game and then reload your game in order for Snuggly to give you your reward. So it's a little tedious. I believe one of the future Souls games changed that. But as you can see, if you give her a Sunlight Metal Medallion, whatever it's called, she gives you a white Titanite chunk, which can be hella useful for your weapon upgrades. If you drop whatever the fuck I dropped, rubbish, she'll give you a Titanite chunk, a regular one. Now, what I'm doing here, I actually didn't realize this, but if you try to give her two of the same item in one playthrough, she won't accept it. And not only will she not accept the second item, you will lose it. As you can see, the second rubbish I dropped is gone. It's just gone. So I lost it, which sucks. So definitely don't make that mistake. Now here we are back with Andre, giving him an ember. You're going to see me give the blacksmiths a lot of embers that I haven't given them in my video series. So you'll be able to see which ones take which. And we're going to be buying some Titanite shards. Now, fun fact, Andre's kind of important because I don't think you can get a fist weapon any other way in the game than from him. You can buy a fist weapon from him, but you can't loot one in the game. So we're going to be, this is important because you need, one of the boss weapons is made from a fist weapon. But what you see me doing right now is we're making a claymore into a raw weapon because we haven't gotten the raw upgrade path yet. And unfortunately, I did have to come back to the giant blacksmith in Orlando. The giant blacksmith is so fucking useful. Like, he's your be-all, end-all. He can't make every weapon in the game, but he does the most useful things. For example, he sells every shard that you need, whether it be green, large shards, or small ones. He sells all of them. He even sells a fucking twinkling. And, so you're going to be seeing him a lot. Not to mention, you can't make the boss weapons unless you make them through him. He's the only one who can make them. And what I was doing here, I was actually farming these knights because they're a great way to make money. On the first playthrough, they dropped 3,000 each, which is really good. And not only that, but if you have the item ring equipped, there's a really good chance that they drop Titanite chunks. Because they do have a chance to drop Titanite chunks. As you can see, I got 2 from both of them, which is really nice. Or 1 each from them, I should say. So I got 2 in total. And that was really cool. I got really lucky. So I was glad I was recording when I did that. And now, because of those extra chunks, we can go ahead and finish off the Crystal Halberd. Now, when you're... It goes without saying, but when you're doing the upgrade paths for the weapons, if you already have a weapon with an enchantment imbued on it, it's easier to just upgrade that weapon. For example, you can loot a Crystal Halberd in the game. You don't have to make a crystal weapon out of something else, unless you want to. But, I would just recommend upgrading the ones that the game gives you that you can loot in the different levels and shit. Like, for example, the Occult Club. Just finish the Occult upgrade path through the club. It makes it easier. You don't have to spend as many Titanite shards turning it to Occult. It's already Occult, so you just have to spend the chunks in the slab. But here we are making a Chaos Zweihander. I figured, why the fuck not? And this will be finishing the Chaos Path. But with these weapons, I'm using all the slabs that I've looted in my first playthrough. And I can only finish 1 each of every weapon type. Because there's 2 weapons each that you'll need to use a slab on for if you want to get every trophy for every upgraded weapon path. You need 2 slabs, which means you gotta get the extra slabs. But I'll show you how easier to get that. You saw me killing the wheel skeletons because I ran out of money for the upgrades, which was pretty funny. But here we are. I thought I'd include this as well because these crystal golems have a chance to drop blue Titanite chunks. So if you need blue Titanite chunks, you can get them from these guys, which is pretty fucking sweet. Turns out I missed this when I was doing the Crystal Cave back on my in my previous video. Totally didn't realize there was like 3 fucking crystal lizards there, so that was pretty great. And as you can see, if you walk this way, there is a long-ass invisible path that will eventually lead you to a blue Titanite slab, which is pretty fucking sweet. And goes without saying, you're definitely going to want that. And this is why we bought the Prism Stones from Patches. You could buy so many of them, and they practically cost nothing. But this is very tedious, as you can see, and it takes a long time. But it's very worth doing because figuring out the path is just kind of difficult, as you can see. It's I'm running into a lot of dead ends here. But eventually I do make it. Not on this run, though. Spoiler! I end up idiot killing myself because I get greedy. But look how pretty that looks. Oh my god, the prism stones are beautiful. But here we go. I'm like, oh, it's probably just a straight shot. No! So that was pretty funny, and then I was like, god damn it, I gotta get all the way back there and do it again! But at least I was able to get the crystal lizard that I missed, so that was pretty nice. Fun fact, because of all the crystal lizards I killed in the game, on all my playthroughs combined, I never once had to buy green Titanite shards. Just because the lizards give you so many of them. If you get most of the crystal lizards in the game, you can get like all the green shards you'll ever need just from them. Almost every crystal lizard in the game drops them. And, but here we are. The finished path to the blue Titanite slab. So you're definitely going to want that, as I said, because you do need 2 blue slabs in order to get all the weapon upgrades. And here's another example of what I was saying earlier. I'm going to be giving Rickert his Ember. And using that Ember, I am going to finish off an enchanted weapon. But the game gives you an enchanted falchion. You get one from the Duke's Archives. If I remember correctly, a Mimic drops it. So if you just upgrade that falchion, you don't have to like make an enchanted weapon. You can just finish the one that you loot in the game and you get the trophy. It makes it a lot easier. Now, here's a dramatic build-up to eventually, Patch's inevitable demise, I end up killing him. There's a reason for that. He sells a Crescent Axe, and the Crescent Axe is needed for the rare weapon trophy. You can buy it from him like an idiot, or you can kill him, and he guaranteed drops it. And you don't have to spend or waste any money buying it from him, because if you just kill him, you get it for free. So it's pretty great. Now, I wouldn't do this until you've gotten everything you absolutely need for patches. If you still need to buy Eyes of Death, for example, or the Prism Stones, I would buy those things first before you kill him. Because you definitely don't want to kill him before, you know, you end up needing him again, because that would suck. But there you have it, Crescent Axe. There you go. He drops it, and it's pretty great. We got it. It was so funny when I read that you needed that. I was like, oh, Patches, you're dead as fuck. Nothing you can do about it, bro. Now, okay, so now we're going for the rare weapon drops from enemies. There's a bunch of enemies in the game that you need to kill, that you need to get lucky and have them drop their weapon. What you see me doing right here, I put my humanity to 10. There's a reason for that. If you're carrying 10 humanity, your item drop rate is increased by a pretty significant amount. Walking around with 10 humanity when you're farming the rare drops makes things a lot easier. It stacks with the ring, so that's good. You can use the ring and the 10 humanity in tandem, and you're more likely to get your drops. But we got the Silver Knight Shield, the Silver Knight Spear, and we're going to get the Silver Knight Sword from this guy. Now, as you would think, you do have to kill the corresponding knights, so the ones with the spears will drop the spear, the ones with the swords will drop the sword. Unfortunately, all the knights have a chance of dropping their shield, which is kind of annoying, because if you need a specific item from one of them, and any one of them can drop their shield when you already have their shield, obviously you're not going to like that. Got pretty lucky on this Stone Giant. He gave me his Great Shield instead of the sword. I would have been pretty mad if he gave me the sword, because I already have the sword. But there you go. Got the shield from the Stone Giant I was missing. And we're going to go ahead and kill the Channeler for the Channeler's Trident. Now, you see me getting all these in very short clips, but, man, this took a while. Getting the Channeler's Trident was a fucking nightmare. That took like 40 minutes of farming. It was brutal. The Silver Knights took around 15 minutes, and the Stone Giant dropping his shield took about 5 minutes. So that just, I'm just telling you guys how long it took for each drop, so that you guys have a good idea of how long it takes to farm them. You guys could get luckier than me. You guys could get unluckier than me. The times will vary, but I'm just giving you a general estimate as to how long it would take to get each one. So there you go. Now we're coming down here. I can't remember why we're coming down here. Why are we coming down here? I think, oh, it's because I'm giving the Lord Vessel the Lord Souls, I believe. Yes, that is the case. I figured I should show this in the video because otherwise you wouldn't get to see it, and it's kind of an important, you know, point in the game, story-wise. So I figured might as well include it because it's a significant thing that happens. So, thought it was important. At this point, if you've been keeping up with my streams, because I have streamed quite a bit of Dark Souls, you would already have seen me do New Game Plus and all that good shit, but this is my first time, my first playthrough. So this is footage of my first playthrough, so I figured it was important enough to include this footage. Why the fuck not? Now, another reason we came down here and did that is because the last item drops we need are going to be from the Black Knights. Now, the Black Knights are pretty great because there's so few of them in the game in general, but when you get to this area, every single type of Black Knight is here, and they all respawn. They're not unique spawns, so every time you rest at the bonfire, you can respawn them, which means you can farm them. And when you have the item drop ring, their chances of dropping their stuff is really good. Like, I got all their stuff in literally 2 runs of doing this. I did this run twice, and on the second run, I ended up getting everything that I needed. What's also nice about these Black Knights is they all drop the different types of Titanite chunks. And they're all guaranteed to drop them too, I'm pretty sure. So the first one drops a regular Titanite chunk. He also has a chance of dropping his longsword, if you still need that. The second Black Knight has the Ultra Great Sword. And I think he drops red Titanite chunks? or actually it might be white. It's red or white. Actually, I think it's probably white. But I go ahead and kill him. Pretty easy for me to do. I think the magic damage is like really good on Black Knights because they seem to do a lot with the Moonlight Greatsword. I was wrong. He drops red chunks, and unfortunately he dropped his shield, which I already had, so that was unlucky. But on my second run through, he does end up dropping his sword, which is really great. But it just goes to show you, if you were getting bad luck with the Black Knights all throughout the game in the unique locations that they spawn, once you get to the end of the game, it's fairly easy to farm them and get all the items that you missed. It just sucks that you have to wait that long, but it's nice that they're all practically guaranteed. Because as I said, having the item ring makes them practically guaranteed drop all their stuff, which is really nice. Definitely want to be careful fighting this guy on this thin-ass ledge. And he went ahead and dropped his sword, which is pretty great, because I still needed the long sword. And this is practically me also doing the level. I think this is the only lootable item in the level, is the Black Knight gear on that corpse. I don't think there's any other items to actually pick up in the level, so it's just the Black Knights. And we're already halfway through it. There's just 2 more Black Knights, and once you kill them, you're at the last boss. And right here is where you would normally find Solaire's Soul Sign if you saved him and finished his quest line. You would be able to summon him just at the top of these stairs that I'm running down. And as he says, you know, it's bright, glowing gold. You can't miss it. This is the Axe Black Knight. And the one after this one drops the Halberd. Or it's the Halberd Black Knight. Can't remember which Titanite chunk this guy drops. White. So the Axe one drops white. The Ultra Greatsword one drops red. And the Halberd Knight drops blue. Now, I actually didn't kill the Halberd Knight there because I already have the Halberd, so I didn't bother. Now, this is me going through it again. This is my second run. And he, see, I swear it's guaranteed. I swear they always drop their chunks, which is fucking great to farm the chunks. It's awesome. But, yeah, here's the Ultra Greatsword. We just need his Greatsword. He is going to be dropping it for us, so that's pretty cool. I decided to show, like, normally most of the footage in this video is sped up, but I figured this would require a decent amount of explaining, so I decided to include the footage at regular speed. And there you have it. There's the Ultra Greatsword. We got all the Black Knight weapons, and that is going to top off all the unique weapons that drop from enemies, so we got them all. Now all we need is to finish my upgrade path weapons, which you will be seeing further in the video. And also, the boss weapons. Actually, this is the first boss weapon I make right here, is the Dark Moon Bow. If you guys remember from, well, my playthrough, if you've been keeping up with the videos, I've had a +10 bow for quite some time, and I decided to finally turn it into the Dark Moon Bow, using Gwendolyn's Soul. So that was the first boss weapon that I made. Figured might as well do it before I end my playthrough. And also, before I end my playthrough, this is me finishing more of the weapon upgrade paths. I believe this is the standard weapon path. And also, if you're wondering how the fuck I'm able to make this, because I've already used 2 Titanite slabs, I got a third one from the DLC. And you're gonna be I'm gonna be showing you guys where to get the slabs in the DLC, because they're hella useful to get, because they're kind of annoying to get in the main game. So if you get them in the DLC, it saves you from having to get them in the main game. Now, I just made the Greatsword of Artorias with a +10 Greatsword, and I'm also going to make the Chaos Blade here, so that's 2 more boss weapons that I made before I finished my playthrough. And yeah! Oh, and I also make the Moonlight Butterfly Crystal Ring Shield using the Moonlight Butterfly Soul. So there you have it. That was using a +10 Greatsword, a +10 Katana, and a +10 Shield. Will net you those 3 boss weapons. Now, this is me in the DLC. This is right after the Guardian boss, who's the first enemy you encounter in the DLC. Once you beat him, you'll end up in this area here. And I'll just show you the path real quick on how to get the blue Titanite slab, which is immediately at the beginning of the level, which is pretty nice. But you do have to get rid of a lot of these enemies, because The blue Titanite slab is literally surrounded by these guys. So you do kind of have to clear out the rabble, unfortunately. Which takes me a little bit. These enemies are pretty tough. Not really the pitchfork guys, but these giant stone dudes, they're pretty tough. So you definitely want to be careful with them. I did actually, this isn't my first attempt. I did die on these guys. There's my money right there to the right of me. As you can see, I did get killed. But, you know, just keep at it. And fuck them up. It's all good. I believe this is the last mob. Yes, sir. And then if you just run into this little puddle here, hidden chest, and boom, there's the blue Titanite slab. Now, this is footage from my stream. If you guys missed out on my stream, you can go and take a look at it at the link above. You should be seeing it right now. And this is in the chasm right before Manus, the Father of the Abyss, which is the last boss in the DLC. This is the location of the white slab. It's literally right before his fog door, so it's really not that hard to miss it. And this is the Gawdlikematt dragon boss fight in the DLC. He's kind of optional. I mean, the whole DLC is optional, so there's that. But when you defeat Gawdlikematt in his boss room, if you just run over to the waterfall here, this alluring chest will contain the Titanite slab. So that's how I got the third slab to make the standard weapon upgrade, when you guys saw that earlier. I kind of showed the footage in the wrong order, but hey, that's cool. So now this is footage of me running through the Kiln of the First Flame to finish my first playthrough. I finally deemed it necessary by this point to go ahead and beat the game. I wanted to finish as many upgrades as I could before I beat the game, because it's a pain in the ass to collect all the embers again and fucking, you know, have access to all the blacksmiths and be able to walk around and upgrade the weapons at your, you know, at your disposal. And it's convenient to have all those things, so I wanted to make sure I got as much of that done before I actually finished the game. Because once you beat the game, you have to beat Ornstein and Smough again to be able to warp. You need to gather all the embers to do the weapon upgrades, and it's just a pain in the ass. So. Now this is my fight with Gwyn. I opted to fight him alone. Actually, fun fact, when I was recording this, Dark Souls servers were down, and I couldn't summon any players, which was pretty lame, so I had to play offline. And I also got Solaire killed in this playthrough, so I couldn't summon him to help me with Gwyn either. So I went ahead and fought him by myself. But as you can see, Gwyn is really not that hard, to be honest. He does a lot of damage, and he's extremely fast. It's very hard to get time in to heal if you lose health. But as you can see, his attacks are very predictable and very drawn out, making them pretty easy to parry. He follows a set rhythm, so it's really not hard to parry. As you can see, this is the third parry in a row. And I almost have him dead. And when you parry him, it gives you just enough time to use a focus, which is pretty nice. Now here, I was fucking up the parry timing quite a bit. So he almost killed me there. Came very close. And for the next few seconds, you're just going to see me panicking to try and get enough health to parry him again. Because at this point, if he does hit me and I miss the parry, he'll just kill me. So I need to make sure I have enough health to survive a hit if I fucking don't parry. So until I get that health, I think this is enough health here. Yeah, I was confident enough to parry him there, so that was my opening. And by this point, if you really wanted to, which I end up doing, you can just back the fuck away from him and hit him with spells. And as you can see, he's really not that hard. One of the easier final bosses in this whole series. I think the last boss in Dark Souls 2 and 3 are both harder than this guy. But still, Gwyn's fight's very cinematic, very cool. The music that plays is awesome. And he's fun. So, you know, not complaining. But there you have it. Gwyn's dead, first playthrough done. And go ahead and link the fire at the bonfire in the middle of the room to get the good ending. Now, I think regardless of whether or not you have the Primordial Serpent Framped or Koth, whichever one you have, I don't think it matters. I think you could get either ending either way. Because there's two endings in this game. To get the good one, like I said, click on the bonfire, and then what you're seeing right now is what will happen. This is considered the good ending. You essentially take Gwyn's place as the Lord of Cinder. And the bad ending is just simply leave the room. Just walk out the way you came in. Don't even touch the bonfire. And you will get the bad ending, engulfing the world in dark, as they say. But there you go. There's the trophy for the good ending. And on we are to New Game Plus. So this was the first major thing I did in New Game Plus, which was give the Gwyn's soul to the Sunlight Covenant. And if you do that, you get the Miracle Sunlight Spear, which is an extremely powerful miracle. Again, this is footage from my stream. You're going to be seeing a lot of footage from my stream. Now we only just need one more miracle to get the trophy for all miracles. And so here we are coming for the Gravelord Covenant miracle that I'm still missing. Now, as before, in the catacombs, you just hop in the coffin and it'll take you to Nito's Covenant. Now, if you still need Eyes of Death, as I said in the previous video, when I did the catacombs, there are 3 Eyes of Death literally right next to the coffin before you jump in. You just have to get behind the Prowling Demon and they'll be right there. You could just loot them off the corpse. So if you're like me, by this point you were only off by 3 eyes, you can get them very easily. But there you have it, offer 10 Eyes of Death, or if you were missing any, you could also buy some from patches. Very easy to get 10 Eyes of Death. And there you go. The Miracle Gravelord Great Sword Dance, and there's the trophy for all miracles. So there we have that. And that does it for that one. And now here we are in the Tomb of Giants. I'm correcting a mistake. I should have did this in my first playthrough. Make sure you're alive before you head on over to Nito in the Tomb of Giants. This bonfire is your last chance to do so. And you want to make sure you're alive because there's a unique NPC in this level who invades you as you approach Nito's boss room. And he invades you right around here. You just got to be patient and wait for him. He will show up. When he does, murder his ass, and he will drop a unique hammer as well as a shield. And both of these weapons are required for the Rare Weapons Trophy. So you do have to kill this guy to Platinum. And like I said, he will only invade you here if you're alive. So that's why you want to make sure you're alive when you get here. I made that mistake on my first playthrough. I totally forgot that this guy dropped something that important. I think he's literally the only NPC Black Phantom that you need to kill in the game. So it's all good. As you can see, when you click on him, he drops Grant and Sanctus, his weapon and shield. And once you have those, you're all good. And here we are finishing my last 3 weapon upgrades. So this is going to be for the Fire Longsword. And, actually, I just realized I haven't shown where to get the fucking... Oh, that's right. So for the Fire Longsword, I forgot to mention this about the DLC. The DLC gives you a second slab of every kind except the red slab. So, unfortunately for the red Titanite slab, you are going to have to go back to the Lost Izalith and loot it in the main game, because the DLC only gives you a blue slab, a regular slab, and a white slab. So, but as you can see, I finished off the occult weapon just now, my fire weapon, and this will be finishing off the magic weapon, which were the last 3 weapons that I was missing. Unfortunately, you do have to grab the embers as well, again, on New Game Plus, in order to make these weapons. So, unfortunately, that sucks. It's ideal to do as many of these weapon upgrades before you finish your playthrough as possible, because, like I said, getting the embers is a huge pain in the ass. Now we're going to be covering the bad ending. So once you get the Lord Vessel, immediately come and kill the 4 kings. Don't give the Lord Vessel to Frampt, and you will meet Koth, which is the second primordial serpent. You can find him in the Abyss immediately after killing the 4 kings. And if you just talk to him and tell him yes when he asks you if you accept the mission, you come place the Lord Vessel through him, and now he is your primordial serpent. So he's also a covenant leader. Go ahead and join his covenant. And you do actually have to join his covenant. It's not enough to just get the trophy, because when you join his covenant, he gives you Dark Hand. And Dark Hand is needed for the Rare Weapons Trophy, so you do have to join his covenant. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and finish your second playthrough. This is the second time I beat Gwyn, with the help of Solaire. That was much needed and much appreciated, Solaire. Thank you. And go ahead and walk out of the room, as I said. Then you'll get this ending. So all the primordial serpents are like, "We are yours, master." And that's pretty much it. You walk on out like a boss, and you are the Lord of Dark, or whatever. The Dark Lord, Dark Soul, something. But there's the trophy. That was during the stream once again, so if you want to check that out to see me getting these in real time, you can go ahead and do that. And this is me getting all the boss souls. So I went ahead and did a shitload of grinding. Fun fact, you do have to kill Sif 3 times, because there are 3 different boss weapons you can make with his soul, meaning you do have to get to New Game Plus Plus and kill Sif a 3rd time in order to make all the boss weapons. But here we go. These are all the remaining boss weapons I needed to make. These are all the weapons you can upgrade to make them. And that's going to be it. All the boss weapons in the bag. Now, with the Greatsword of Artorias, as you can see, I zoom in on it here. The game's very misleading. The Greatsword of Artorias is the name it will show for the cursed version and the regular version. So it's kind of hard to tell which one you're making. The way to tell is to check the weapon stats. The cursed version only does physical damage, whereas the regular version does magic damage. So that's how you can tell the difference. But there you go. You see me getting the platinum. I'm super happy and celebrating. Everyone's nice in the comments, which is really great. And that was me platinuming. So if you guys want to check out the stream of me doing that in real time, like I said, you can go ahead and do that. But that was my Let's Platinum. I got all the trophies in Dark Souls. I platinumed the game. Hell yeah. So go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you guys enjoyed, and go ahead and hit that notification bell. It would really help me out. And also follow me on Twitch, again, if you're interested in me streaming. But that's all the trophies, so we're done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I really hope my playthrough helped you guys out. And I will definitely see you guys in the next one. So have a good one, everybody. Take care.